Hey everybody, my name is Nick, director and editor living in Los Angeles, and today I'm going to be talking about the Taiwanese film Dead Talent Society. Dead Talent Society is from 2024. It's directed by John Hsu. John Hsu, you might remember from directing the film Detention, which is a very different type of film. Dead Talent Society is actually a horror comedy. Dead Talent Society is called a horror comedy, but I consider it basically just a comedy with kind of horror elements put into it. Its plot is centered around this idea of ghosts. When you die, you have to scare the living in order to kind of keep your existence as a ghost going. If you don't scare enough people, you don't get enough money to pay to keep your ghostness alive and thriving. It's a really cool concept. A lot of people have compared this movie to something like Beetlejuice, and I think that it's true. It's a very, very similar type of film to a film like Beetlejuice, which is primarily a comedy with a little bit of horror elements. If you watch it when you're a kid, like I did when I watched Beetlejuice, you might be a little scared by it, but in general, this movie is not scaring anyone, which is why it's cool that it's made by a director who previously made an actual horror film. I think John Hsu really understands the horror genre. He puts a lot of these East Asian ghost tropes into this film, makes fun of them. It's very clever because he understands kind of the different things that people expect out of a ghost movie, and then he turns it on its head, makes fun of it for you. The concept is very engaging and fun to watch, like this idea of ghosts trying to scare people. They set up like a little bit of like a game show thing. There's like teams, idols, that famous ghosts in the underworld, stuff like that. It's a very goofy movie, and that is what I appreciated about it. For me personally, I haven't seen very many recent Taiwanese comedies that I thought were very good or very funny. For me, a lot of the more recent Taiwanese comedies were a little too stupid. And this movie is definitely stupid, don't get me wrong, but stupid in a way that I really liked. So it might have just been kind of a mindset thing for me. I was in the mood to watch a movie like this when I did. I think so much of film criticism can be boiled down to that, of like, what mood were you in when you saw the movie? But for me, the kind of goofiness of this really went that extra mile to a place that I just thought, okay, I understand that this director and this film is really just trying to be silly, and I'm gonna go along with that. I mean, there's some really stupid gags that just got me really good. In a way, I think this film reminds me a little bit of like a Stephen Chow silly, just goofy movie where the jokes just kind of keep coming. Clever-ish, but just really inane in such a way that you just have to laugh. Like this whole concept of ghosts watching a scare session like it's a sporting event and then having a replay of the scare. It's just funny little situations that are set up well, and they keep coming. I think the fun thing about this movie is that it just really goes a mile a minute. If you didn't like that joke, the next one's coming and it's gonna make you laugh. Or maybe that one didn't make you laugh, but the next one's coming and it's gonna make you laugh. Like this dead former KTV idol guy and his stupid goofy music video, that might make you laugh. All these little goofy gags just keep coming. In a lot of ways, it reminded me of the film like Airplane back in the 70s. In addition, like a lot of these Taiwanese movies that try to do a lot, it did have a little bit of an emotional arc to it. It tried to be a little sentimental, and for me, it worked because it didn't go too far down that road. It kept its scope, knew what it was trying to do, was trying to be funny the whole time, trying to be goofy, trying to be silly, and it had a focused enough world that was all very clear. And because the world was built so clearly, it allowed everything that happened within that space to be fair game, and so it never felt like it was going all over the place. It felt focused, and I think that Dead Talent Society definitely picks funny as its clear lane. And that's why I don't really consider it a horror comedy, because it's not trying to be scary. So if you go into this movie thinking, oh, I want like a horror comedy that's gonna be horror, a little bit scary, you're not going to get that, and you might be a little disappointed. Knowing that John Hsu directed a movie like Detention before this, you can really see his versatility as a director, and you can see how somebody who's very talented at doing a serious drama can then move into this comedy that is like a straight, clear, down the middle comedy, and he can excel at that too. I think that shows his range as a director, and I'm really excited to see any other movie that he comes up with. And for me, he's one of the most talented directors working in Taiwan today, and I think this movie really secures that position for him, even though it's not traditionally something you would consider as like, oh, like an Oscar movie, a drama movie. It's not like the work of like Ho Xiaoxian, where you see like all of these very serious, festival movies all in a row. This is like a goofy, crowd-pleasing movie. It's a popcorn flick, really, but he's able to pull it off in addition to being able to pull off other types of movies. So I am really curious to see the kind of thing that he wants to do next. Yeah, he's working again with Jingle Wong, who is excellent in this movie too. She's very good at this type of character, this kind of funny character, and I really appreciate seeing her in this role. I've seen her in a couple past films, The Pig, the Snake, and the Pigeon, which is a movie I really liked, but I thought she was a little bit miscast in. I think she's been miscast a little bit as like the kind of like traditional, like sexy leading character female role, and I think she works better in this kind of comedic space, which is an interesting follow-up to what she did in Detention, which I thought she did very well, where she was this like sad, scared character. But now in this, as a kind of a goofy comedic role, she works really well too. I think she, in particular, appears to work really well with this director, and I really like seeing them playing off each other. I can see how he's able to draw out interesting performances from her, because this is a comedy movie, but like I said, it does have serious moments, and a lot of the really good serious moments come from her, and I can see that it's because she feels comfortable with the director. That's what it seems like when you watch these scenes, where her performance is really allowing itself to feel real within this world. So I think this is a great film that everybody should check out. Halloween, if you want something fun to watch with the kids, Dead Talent Society is a good one. If they can read subtitles, of course, or maybe dubbed version for the youngins. But definitely a high recommend. Great film that came out of Taiwan recently. I'm really, really happy with this movie, and you should watch it. Let me know what film you want me to review next in the comments below. Let me know what you thought. Did you think it was stupid? Did you think it was fun? Was it not scary enough? Blah, 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 all that stuff. And I'll see you guys next time.